ways to finish off your bowls: jam chuck, cold chuck, and vacuum chuck. And the first way that everybody probably starts off is with a jam chuck. And basically what we're doing is just jamming this onto the chuck, one way or the other. If I'm jam chucking something just to, like, let's say I had a bowl that I cut the bottom on, you know, tenon on 6 months ago, and now it's warped through the bed, I'll just jam chuck it right onto this. I won't even put anything on it. I'll jam chuck it right on my screw, run up there, tighten it up enough so that it's all spinning, and I'll re-true up this here tenon real quick. If it's already finished, you can just put that right over there and jam chuck this thing again, right straight over top of your jaw. This is the stuff that you line kitchen drawers with, put your stuff in. So I could put this on here and just jam chuck that right on there, and I'm sure that would work just fine. Although I'd have to worry about these jaws working their way through my stuff. Yesterday, a lady at Ron's retreat, she had square pieces of scuba diving uniform outfit. It was about this thick to start with, and I could see that was not going to, and she was jam chucking stuff right on her chuck. You don't have to worry about it coming through. I use this when I used to jam chuck. I haven't jam chucked in a long time. If I'm doing something nice. I made a jam chuck, you know, just put a curve on it that works. When I cut the chuck, I noted which one of my tenons it lines up to, which jaw lines up to, which back then I always lined up everything with my number 2 jaw. So I know if I got something old in my box and it's got a little V on it, it doesn't say 1, 2, 3, or 4, I know it lines up with my number 2 jaw. That way I get it back in the same way, and it should be fairly close to being true. So. What I like to do is I like to get it centered on here first, and make sure, whenever I turn a tenon or a foot, I always leave a dimple on the bottom of my bowl. So when I go to finish it, it's already there. If it's not there, which this one it wasn't, I had to draw it out. I had to get my little center finder on there and recircle it. But you see, I tried to leave it there. This one here, I had left it on there, so I can just push it in from there. Crank it up, get it tight enough so I can't, you know, spin these two. And that's all you need. So, I have my favorite way of doing this. I mean, you can just take, from here, you can use your scraper. Chip away at this. You can take a bowl gouge and slowly chip away. You don't want to take huge chunks at a time. It is being held on by this piece here. So, but you want to get in here and slowly chip away at this. So let's see what we have here. This is pretty close. Yeah. I mean, I'm off here a little bit, but that's pretty smooth. If this is really wobbly, then something's probably wrong about it, or else it's really warped since you turned it. If you turned it green, you might have a really too high sides on it. So, but that's pretty close right there. Yeah, let's see what I got here. Where's mine? I'm looking for this. I use a scraper. This scraper is, it's got a square on it that's mounted sideways, not like a regular scraper, which I really like. It came with a straight blade in it. I put in a radius 2. Because then with the radius 2, I can get in here and I can work around and get some grooves in there and like get a bottom that's not perfectly straight. I like to have it going downhill from the outside rim. So let me get my shield on here. And I'm just going to take a little bit at a time off it.
That's not too bad. I could sand that out. I got some rough spots here. But typically what I do is I like to get it almost straight, flat across here. I'll use this bar to check it. And I'm slightly recessed here, so I could cut that dimple off right now and sand it, and this would sit level. I'd be good. But what I like to do, once I get it to this point where it's almost flat, I come in here with a detail gouge, a detail spindle gouge, like this. And this has got a very steep edge on it. It's got a very shallow groove flute. It's made for spindle work, detail spindle work. And I can get in here and I can take a nice little slice where I'll need very little sanding to finish this up, because that's what I don't want to do is sand. I'm probably not going to cut from the very outside, because there's an app for a screw back to catch that edge and have this thing just whip me right back. You know, with this I can catch this edge and not worry about it pull me back, but with the spindle gouge, there's a big chance it's going to pull me back this way. So I'm going to start in here like beyond my foot, because I got my foot's already flat out here, so I'm going to start in about a ½ an inch, and I'm going to just get a nice little groove going towards the middle. So, and then I'm going to use this to pick away at my in here too. And I don't know if you can see that from there, but can you lift your camera up here and show them this? When I get this, people get in here and they're wondering how you're going to cut this part away in the middle. And you have to treat this like it's the outside of the bowl here. I got to come in at an angle. My angle is 45 degrees this way, not flat, but I'm going to bring it up this way because I'm cutting this thing, which is going this way. So I'm coming at an angle that way, and then I'm going to drop my back down a little bit, and I'm going to come in here and I'm going to cut this way on that. And you can see I'm taking you probably can't see that, but I'm taking a little piece off that, but that's the direction to go. Some people get in here and they're thinking, okay, how do I go this way? You definitely don't go straight in. You've got to treat it just like it's the outside of your bowl and just kind of pick away at that. So first I'm going to come in here. Now I'm going to come in here and clean this up a little bit. And this, just a little bit at a time on this. When you watch YouTube, they'll get that thing down there to just the tiniest little bit. And I always do natural edge work, and that does not always work so well because this thing is not level. It's shaking right now. Even though it's a very small bowl, it's shaking. And the only thing holding on is this tenon, and if I get that too small, it'll just break from the vibration of this trying to wobble back and forth. And it's not wobbling, it's wobbling on this end, but all the pressure is right here. So I'm going to get that down close. So maybe 3/16 of an inch. I'm not going to go all the way down to a hair like you see him do online. I was talking to John Marquardt the other day, and he's like, I always go right down to almost nothing. I said, you must not do natural edge. He goes, no, it's my regular bowls. I said, yeah, you try that with a natural edge. It'll come flying out. I've lost more bowls jam chucking trying to do this than anything else. I don't have them flying off when I'm doing other work, but this jam chucking and try to take off this last little bit is my most apt time to lose a bowl. And a lot of times I get down here, you can see I'm making steps. Because if I make a step and stop before it hits the next one, let me make one more. Yeah, there's my screw back. When I stop like that and make a step, I know I'm not going to get a catch, because if I get a catch, it's going to be because of this edge. My leading edge hit the bowl. And then that's going to rip me down and cause a catch. If you stop just enough to leave a little step there, and I keep doing that, you don't have to worry about getting the catch, because you're stopping before you can get to that bowl and have the next edge take it off. I'm going to come in this way now, and I'm going to clean those out, because from this way I can get in there and work it out. But I'm not going to get in there and get too deep with that one. I'll do one more. Oh, now I gotta clean that up again. Look at that. Always be careful when you're in there with your gouge.
He hang out and watch the whole line.
You say you use a lot of super glue?
What's that?
You say you use a lot of super glue?
I do. I do. But I'm not gonna use any on the bottom here.
That's part of the demo.
Yeah, it's part of the demo, how not to do it. How to pay attention. I'm gonna take one more pass here. I'm gonna clean off the bottom here with that. You know, it's pretty good. I don't have to do a whole lot of sanding here. Got a little bit on the outside I'll worry about. But I could now get in here with my sander and sand this while I still have it on and get all this looking good the way I want to do it. If you wanted to put some lines in here, I could still get in here with my detail tool and I could put some lines in the bottom to add a little decorative edge to that, which is something I do on all my bowls. So let me see if I can get in there with something here. I have a Sorby texture tool that I like to use on the bottom. And I like to put this on the number 2. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start out here. I'm going to get this going about 600 RPMs is what I like. And I'm going to just swing this in. I'm going to just swing this in until it touches. And I'm going to leave a little texture in there. Make sure it's not touching that, which can you see that? Yeah. It's just a little spiral in there. Sometimes I'll take my pencil down, I'll mark the outside and inside, and I might cut a groove around those spirals. But this one I'm just going to leave it like that. Give it back to my uncle and see how long it takes him to notice I put that on the bottom. So now this is done. I'm going to take this off and I'm going to break that off there. Don't want to mess around with the room because I'm already have a big failure. So this should be able to just break off from my finger. And I don't want to tear that out of there. I want it to break off and leave it stuck. Because if I would have pulled on this piece, I don't know if you can see that, I'd have a hole in there. And I'd rather have a post. It's a lot easier to sand off a post than it is to sand off a hole. To sand off a hole, you got to sand a whole lot of the stuff. But sand the post off there, it'll come right off. Now people, if I walked around the room right now and asked, how do you get this nub off there? There's the 11 of us in the room. I give you 11 different ways to take the nub off that. I'm going to show my way. This is my way. I have a sanding disc here on my drill chuck. This is one of them roto things. I was a technician and worked, manager in an automotive field, and we use these on clean up engine blocks and stuff. And it's 120 grit. It lasts a long time, and I like to use that for removing the bottom of these. And once again, when sanding, you don't have to go very fast. 600 RPMs on that is plenty. Okay, maybe not needing to go a little faster. And now what I do, I would get out my either my 2-inch power grinder or my 5 1/4-inch palm sander and just do the whole bottom. So there's the jam truck. Go ahead and pass that around the room. Everybody take a look at that. Get that out of there. So now, after that, I graduated to. After I had enough of them things fly out trying to do a jam truck, I decided I need to do a coal job. And I know I'll buy it, so I made my coal job. And then it goes right onto the same truck I was using. I have Supernova chuck, so I just made that. I was making this on a Saturday afternoon, and I found a piece of plywood, so I took it to my bandsaw and I cut it into a circle, and then took my jaws off my coal off my Supernova, and I laid them on the middle of the plywood here, and I marked the holes of those jaws. I taped them together so they were right where they were supposed to be, marked the holes, drilled it out, set them, and then I screwed this onto my chuck. And then I took it off and I fired it up, and then I trued the outside, got it round, and then I etched lines it all the way up. And then after I got done, I drew my crosshairs, and then I went to the bandsaw and I cut this thing in half. And I now have coal jaws. I marked them which jaws they went on so I can get them back on the same spot, because that does make a difference. You know, these jaws are, the jaws aren't what's accurate on it, it's the outside of the very jaw tips is what's accurate. So put that on there. Went down to my local hardware store, they were still open, Ace Hardware. Explained to him what I was trying to do because I needed some nubs here to hold my bowl. And so he looked at that and thought about it and brought me over to the plumbing department, and we found some rubber bushings that he sold me. And so then I came home and I put that on there and got it on there nice and tight. And I thought, great, this works wonderful. Fired it up and got my bottom half on there, and that bowl came flying out across the room. I do not trust these jaws, even though it looks like it's in there pretty good. And this is a little warped, so it's definitely not in there as well as the one I was working on today, because I had just turned it so it was flat. So now when I do these, I tape the crap out of it so it doesn't come flying off on me. This is just masking tape. Typically what I do here, and I didn't bring along a pair of scissors, but typically what I'll do is I'll get my masking tape on there. I might not put that many stretch on it, and I got fiberglass tape that I'll lay over top of the masking tape, because I know the fiberglass tape is going to leave adhesive on here. The masking tape will come off clean, so I'll run some strips of fiberglass tape right on top of that masking tape, and then when I'm done I'll take it all off. But I didn't bring along scissors to cut that with, so I'm just going to do this. I should have enough on there to hold that while I cut that off. Let's see how close this is. And this is a little more wobbly. Oh well, it'll work. So let's see, we're back to this one. Same tools, so.
You're cutting medially, not down towards the headstock?
What's that?
You're cutting
Cutting
medially,
towards the center.
yeah, rather than all pressure going towards the headstock.
If this was really wobbly and I was afraid of it coming off, I would cut in and keep pushing it towards the headstock.
Okay.
But I'm only did that on the outside here where I was worried about having, because it's oblong, getting a catch. But once I get that, I want to start practicing my cuts.
Okay.
You know, and they say with the bow gouge, yeah, you just rough away that thing until you get down there, and then you sharpen it and then try to take a really fine cut. Well, and that's the head to do this, but I like to practice my cut the whole time. You know, so I want to try and take a good cut all the way. I don't want to be just rough and gouging this. I want to start seeing how smooth I can get a cut. And if I'm trying my best and it's still looking rough, then I know I might have to get out a bowl gouge and do this. But this is probably coming up fairly smooth. This is not too bad with my scraper. But if I'm taking these cuts and I'm not down there yet and I can see this is really tearing it out or something, then I'll know for my final cuts I'm not going to use this. I'm going to use my bowl gouge. But this looks like it's doing pretty good. Which is a little high in the bottom, but I'm about there on the outside. Okay, now that's flat. I'm going to come in here and just take maybe just one cut to smooth this. This is I'm doing a set of these bowls, a match set, so they all stack inside each other. It's going to be for food, so I'm not going to do any designs on the bottom. This I want it to be smooth so that people don't have a problem with washing it later. I'm going to wood burn my name in the bottom of this and then seal it with Danish oil. That's what I did the rest of it with.
When you wood burn, do you use a pencil burner or do you have a grinding iron?
I have a pencil, like cheap one I bought off Amazon for $30 or something. Nothing expensive. I haven't really got into wood burning, calligraphy, or anything like that yet. And that is pretty good right there. Sand away, so I can sand it with either my 2-inch or my palm sander and get that smooth, engrave it. That's a wrap on that one. So that's my homemade cold chuck. You can buy them from who makes these. Plus you can get the what's the swirl one you just bought? What's that called?
I don't know, but I love it.
Do you love it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, he had, I think, did I get it?
Longsworth chuck.
Huh?
It's a Longsworth chuck.
Yeah.
Where you make it with a router and it's grooved, and these knobs you don't have to
Adjust.
I have to take these out, and I put all different screws in the back there, insets. But with the Longsworth,
when you turn it, they open up and then they slide back in.
Back down, so we.
Yeah, if I'd known you were gonna be here today, I would've had you bring it.
Yeah.
But I thought you'd be up at Ron's, I didn't think you'd be here, so I didn't
in
bother.
there, but.
Okay, now, let's see, the last step here is gonna be a vacuum truck. Here's my vacuum truck I picked up from Harrison Specialty Equipments. I think it's like $120, it's aluminum. It came with a gasket that was put on here with some kind of adhesive that didn't work well at all. I picked up a gasket from the rubber chucky guy. And he made this gasket for another vacuum chuck, I don't remember whose. And I just had to trim out the inside because it was too deep here to fit. But once I trimmed that, this thing works very well. So I like this. So the tube just slides through here. I gotta take my tape off. And my Powermatic, there's a lot more room, and this thing wobbles and scrapes and makes all kinds of noise, so I put a little batting out here now. Just slide that off the end there. Okay. And then I bought a vacuum pump off from Amazon.com. This is the vacuum pump I bought. I think this is, they rate them by CFMs. This is a 3 CFM, which is about the minimum you can use. I mean, I had one that was 2.2 or something. It kind of worked, but not as well. You know, once I pulled the tailstock off, it didn't always hold it tight. This one pulls a lot more vacuum. The most vacuum you can pull, I think, is 29.2 or 4, somewhere in that area of inches of vacuum. And so anyways, I hooked this up. I have this clamped off because my setup at home, this goes up to a gauge that I have mounted on the wall. And I couldn't get it off the wall because it went through the wall to get there. So, but I have a gauge in front of me, so when I turn this on, I can see how many inches of vacuum I'm pulling. And if it pulls down to, it's got to have at least 20 to do anything at all. Usually I can pull close to 26 or 27. I don't think you can pull a perfect vacuum because of the wood is always porous and lets some of it through. So anyways, I just slide my tube on here. I keep it plugged when I'm not using it because I don't want dust to get in there. And so let's see, I can turn this on. So it's full of vacuum there. So what I do, I have my little indent on there that I kept. Let's see, is this thing going to swing here? I hadn't thought about that. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Get used to that big blade.
Yeah, I know. I guess that big lathe in a hurry. So I'm going to get this on here and then I'm going to slide this up, turn it around a couple times. And I like to put a little
Watch your bar.
Okay, so I like to get that up there close and a little tight, and then turn it on. And typically it's noisy like that at first, but if I wait long enough, it'll get quieter. Because it starts to, right now it's pumping out air and stuff inside of here. Eventually, if you let it run long enough, it'll get quiet. You can have the roots running once it gets all the way around. But right now that should be, already that's kind of pretty good. So, I still need the tailstock up while I'm getting the most of this away. And until I get down to the end, then I'm going to pull my tailstock away and let the vacuum hold it while I finish it off. But basically I'm using the vacuum as a jam truck right now. So. Yeah, the tube's got a bearing that's sealed at this end, so it can spin and
because I have my tailstock up, I can be a little aggressive taking this off there. It's held by the vacuum and it's held by my tailstock, so I'm gonna take some big chunks here and get down to the nitty gritty. So pretty good. I didn't hit this one spot. It's just a little higher. You can see where it's got some lacquer on it. So I'm gonna make one more pass. And that looks pretty good. And that's almost shear scraping there. That came out nice. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, I'm going to back this off. And I do have a natural edge here, and this thing is not level, so it is still got some vibration in it. I'm not going to push this way at this point. I'm going to only cut into it, to push into my vacuum chuck so I don't disturb it, you know. I don't like to leave the speed up on these, because I don't like, with this piece I don't think it's quite as bad, but some pieces I don't want the jolt of this thing firing up and maybe causing this to twist or all that. So I always turn my speed all the way down, flick it on, and then bring my speed up to what I want. And at this point I kind of keep an eye on this center dot here. As long as this center dot doesn't start wobbling, I know my vacuum's holding it. If I see that center dot start to get oval or bigger, it's because I've slid. My bowl has slid, and now that center dot is wobbling. And I know that I need to stop, maybe pull that back up, or slow down, try to recenter my bowl. So I'm gonna keep an eye on that. I'm gonna probably get up to maybe 450, about 450, so. A little bit of tear out there. Take it easy on that last little piece that's hanging there. You got the temptation to just jerk that off. Go nice and slow and just slowly cut that piece off so you don't end up with a hole in the bottom. Okay. I think that's going to be the key. Okay, so now
I'd like to work on this side of the camera in this area. So I'll reverse this. And bring this up. And I'm trying to get up to 500 RPMs and hopefully fall out there. Let's see. This way.
kind of hard to see that. Make some just some reference lines there. I'm not necessarily going to be right on those lines, but I'll look at those lines and see if I want to be in or out of those lines. But I think I'm going to be right on top of the outside lines here, slightly inside that middle one. And I'm going to use my my same scraper here to put some grooves in here.
Now with the vacuum truck, one thing that's really nice is like I can go home now and I can finish sanding this. I can just put anything right back on here and work on the bottom. I can take any bowl that's in my inventory and chuck it back up, and I could sand it, put a 10 on there, and return it if I had to, which I've done before. If it don't sell, something's wrong with it, I might hook it back up and sand it down and put a different finish on it or whatever. But this here needs some sanding, so I'll probably sand that up when I get home and I'll check it back up. Plus, I'll check these things up when I'm spraying the bottoms of all of them. I'll get my sprayer set up and I'll have all of them there. Because usually I'll do 5 or 6 or 7 bowls at a time, finish them all the bottoms at once. So and then I put my vacuum chuck up there and I stick them on there and I can just quick spray them, take them off, put the next one on, and go through the whole stack and spray the bottoms, finish them up. But that one, like I'll sign it and put out what type of wood it is. If I name it, I'll put a name on it. That one I won't name, but and then I'll seal the whole thing when I'm done. So that's pretty much it. That's the whole demo. Thank you for coming today. If you got any questions.
The bowl with warts, that cause a problem?
Usually this will move enough, you know, because it's not gonna be warped in the middle, it's gonna be warped out here. So usually I can still get a chuck on that, but it's more apt to be wobbly and not stay centered. But it'll overcome that, you know, so this is.
Best to have the bowl finished before you put it on.
Yeah, yeah, if it's porous, it won't hold it very well. You know, you gotta have a nice lacquer on it. The lacquer usually has to dry, because otherwise if I lacquer it and then try to seal it the same day, this was enough vacuum and force that it'll mar the lacquer. I'll have to steel wool the bottom and re-lacquer. So usually I get everything done on all of them, I remove all the tendons, and then I'll wait a week. Or I won't remove the tendons, I'll get the bowl done, that's why I let them stack up. And then I'll make sure they all have been sitting there drying for at least a day or two before I vacuum chuck them. Less apt to ruin the lacquer on the inside of them. So, but it's been a great investment, I love it.